Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tan, and we were working on this BMW E90, and we're putting in a LT4 in this guy. So last we left off with the engine still in the car, and the oil pan, I wasn't happy with it because the pan from Holly didn't have sensor hookup, and I would have to drill and tap into that guy, and didn't really sit well with me on that if I had to drill into a brand new pan, so that just didn't make any sense. So we're going back to the original pan, and I cut and re-welded that guy and added some extra cool little things and details, which we'll go over in just a second. Just want to let you know that what happened was I had a lot of work calls and meetings that I had to attend to, and was called to help out as being soccer dad, trying to help out the coach with my daughter and my son's soccer teams. They were missing a coach, so I kind of filled in the slot whenever needed, and I just took up the time that I had invested to this car. I usually only put in about an hour a day on this. So yeah, it just consumed all the time that I actually reserved for this. So anyways, we'll go over this. So what's going on now was, like I said, the pan is now welded, and I wasn't the one that did this job. I don't like to take credit for stuff I don't do. I wasn't able to finish setting up my welder because of all the calls and work issues. So what's going on here is I took it and reached out to a friend of mine. His name's Brian at JP Metal Fab in Santa Clara. He did this job for me, and it is a fantastic job. If you can see their skill, quality, and they're using Miller Dynasty 350, so it is an incredible machine. And I actually asked him to do the Dash 8s for me also. So we're running external oil cooler, because the other oil cooler system that was on here, the OEM, it actually took this slot, which is where we're removing this piece right here so that we can actually fit this guy into the subframe area. So it just made no sense to put that guy back. Then I extended this oil pickup tube here. So I took this back apart so that you can actually see. I actually added a tab just to make sure that this doesn't vibrate loose. And when I installed it, I also put a little bit RTV here to make sure that it makes a proper seal. So doing this extension, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but it did cause me extra work. And in the fabrication world, that's kind of normal. I should have extended it here instead, down in this area, and kind of tweak this pipe to go more centered. But since I already did that here and I didn't double check with this pan, like kind of placing it back together, I'll explain why here. And right here it has this shape, and this shape only allows this pipe to go down into this area. But now that I extended it over 2 inches, I also had to extend this shape. So I had to get this shape into this shield right here. And to do that, you would use a finishing hammer, which I don't own that machine. So I'm gonna have to make one. So what I did was I had this vise, and I put this dent dolly in here. And I put this shield here, and I used an air hammer to get this shape. So that's how I did that. And now that it's there, we're gonna go ahead and put this back together and reinstall everything. And we're gonna go back to the car and pull the engine. So the engine's still in its current state, and a couple of reasons to pull the engine is that oil pan, and we're also gonna go ahead and add these right here. This is an adjustable height engine mount, so I feel that that's beneficial for us. So that's the way I'm gonna go about doing that. So as soon as this pan goes back in and we move on to the next step, that would be doing the transmission mounts, the fueling system, and what Edward was asking about, the electrical. So those are all coming up, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get to everything, so be patient with me. I know you've been and felt I owed you this update. Then the other issue that I came across was my welder, when I was trying to exchange the torch, this stupid wing nut went and snapped off on me. This is why you see it right here. Caused me to take all these panels off, pull this front panel to extract this guy, because I couldn't fit a drill in like this with this tapered edge. So that really caused me a delay there too. So now I'm in the middle of putting it back together. It's operational, it just it's time consuming. That's the other thing. Then I also ran across having to do maintenance on almost every one of my cars. So I ran into the BMWs, the newer BMWs. Take it to the shop. I'm serious. Don't even bother doing it. I did it at home and I learned my lesson. Trust me, it's just so much work. That differential leak on my wife's car caused tools. You got like probably $400 or $500 worth of tools to do it, and you can't get the car high enough to get the leverage. So, you know, I was in the middle. There's no way I could stop in between the process, right? So that caused me a big major delay, because the tool also took its time to get here. I end up cutting metal, making my own tool. So by the time the tool got here, I already made my own, and it worked. And I got it apart, and you know, we moved along. And I don't recommend that job for anybody to do at home. It's a freaking disaster. And I actually finished setting up my GT500. So this guy now hooks up on street tires. Okay, I can tell you the setup. I can show you the setup too of what I did to get this guy to do that. I can show you all the equipment and the things that I bought to put together and make this thing work. So it hooks up. I mean, the launches, everything is rock solid. This car was notorious for just spinning out, hitting walls. And the reason why I found it was because of that panhard bar. This guy has too much power to run a panhard bar system. You have to run a Watts link. That is mandatory. There's no if and buts about it. Once you have a Watts link on this guy, that's it. But I do have it geared up with other stuff too. If you're interested in that, go ahead and hit me up in the comments and I can show you that. And if you really want to see me suffer through that BMW's mishap on that differential leak, let me know. I got video clips on that too that I can share with you, and I can prove why don't do that job at home, okay? And for Edward and others that are leaving me comments and questions, thank you. Those are really add value for everybody else, and some humor. So it was great. You know, I enjoyed it, and you know, hope I can get some more comments from you guys. I also did talk to the ref, and the ref about turbocharging engines. Those swaps with engines that has turbochargers. There's a way to set that up for passing. So I do have some details on that. If you guys are interested in that, go ahead and hit me up in the comments also. But for this one, I'm going to keep it short and sweet so that we can move on to the next step. And hopefully I'll have more progress for you next time around. And this one's going to be it for now. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you later.